What is hatching, Toga peeps? OldManTup coming at you today with another episode of the Top 5. And today our theme is going to be the Top 5 favorite gym leaders. Now we're going to explore some gym leaders from all of the regions and see which ones make Tup's Top 5 list. Will they meet up with yours? There's only one way to find out. Let's get right into it. Number 5. Coming in at number 5 to start off the list is Claire Targaryen of Blackthorn City Gym. And let me tell you what, this girl could give the Mother of Dragons a run for her money. The first of only 2 dragon-type gym leaders. The very last gym leader of the second generation, the Johto games. Your last gym challenge before you move on to the Elite Four. So, what makes Claire so special? Why is she coming in at number 5? Well, let me tell you. The first time you fight her in Gold and Silver, she has 3 Dragonair and a Kingdra. And at that point in time, that was a really formidable lineup. Because Ice types were pretty much non-existent in the game, and it was really hard for you to get your own Dragon type. And even if you had it at that point, it wasn't very good because you didn't have any time to level it up. So she comes back in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and she makes a change to her lineup. Instead of having 3 Dragonair, she starts off with a friggin' Gyarados. So you aren't even safe bringing a Dragon type to take care of her team because it isn't going to work against Gyarados. And Gyarados packs Dragon Pulse, so she just screws your stuff up all day long. Not to mention, I really like the cape. So that is why Claire is coming in at number 5. El número 4. Coming in at number 4 is everybody's favorite Pokemon Wisecracker. That's right, the character Gyarados was based off of Blue. Now, I understand Blue wasn't originally a gym leader in Blue and Red, but he was in every game after that that involved Kanto. So, Blue has stood the test of time. Not only is he the league champion in so many games, he's the final gym leader in the first generation remakes, and in Gen 2. Well, final gym leader of Kanto, that is. Now, if you take a look at his team, it is one of the most formidable teams you will play in a gym because he doesn't adhere to a specific typing. It's like you're playing an Elite Four member or the champion. It's why I guess Elite Four members tend to generally follow a specific type. But anyways, I mean, let's look at the lineup you would face in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. He's got Executor, which I mean, not terribly threatening. Then he's got Arcanine, which is just a beast with Intimidate. He has Rhydon. Woof. Kinda needed just because that was the original setup of the gym. Then he's got Gyarados with Dragon Dance and all physical moves. Woof. He has Machamp with No Guard and Dynamic Punch. Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Thunder Punch to finish up the coverage. Woof. And then he has Pidgeot. I don't know about you guys, but that just screams power to me. And he has to make the list just because how good he has always been. Always. And that's why Gyarados, aka Blue, is coming in at number 4. Smell you later. Cooper's favorite, number 3. Coming in at number 3, we have Volkner, leader of Sunny Shore Gym. Now, he is fantastic, and I really like his team setup. And he's from 4th generation, the last gym leader in the 4th generation. And let me tell you what makes Volkner so much better than the rest. And I will sum it up as this: Nasty Plot, Agility, Baton Pass, Technician boosted, Shockwave using, Ambipom. Now what you're thinking, Tup, that was a mouthful, and you know what, it sure was. But this Ambipom, if you didn't take it out right away, just destroyed lives. And he didn't limit himself to a single type. As long as all of his Pokemon had an electric type move on him, he'd use him. He has Raichu. Not great, but not terrible. You pass him in agility and it destroys your face. You have Luxray, the exact same thing as Raichu. You pass it in agility and it destroys your face with physical attacks. Thunderfang, Crunch. You're done. And last but not least on his team is Octillery. You come in expecting to use ground types and walk all over him. And then he has Octillery with Octazooka, Aurora Beam, and Bullet Seed. This was one of the most well thought out gym sets in my opinion, and that is why Volkner comes in at number 3. Number 2. Okay, coming in at number 2 is quite possibly the second most attractive female character in the game. Not that that has any bearing on this list, but I just want to throw that out there. Flannery, the Lava Ridge gym leader. Now, she was middle of the road when she first came out in Ruby and Sapphire. Her team wasn't very impressive. She had Slugma, and Torkoal. All of them got swept by the exact same thing. Now, when she started to peak, which was my opinion, was Emerald. They buffed her team a little bit. They gave her a few new types so you couldn't just, you could still decimate her with water type attacks, but she got a little bit more variation. She got Numel, Slugma, Camerupt, one of my all-time favorite Pokemon, and Torkoal. Now, they gave her an item for Torkoal the second go around. It has Overheat and Sunny Day. Her entire team has Sunny Day, which is fantastic for a fire type gym leader, especially since all her Pokemon are either at least 2 times or 4 times weak to water. So, what makes this Torkoal a little bit better than the last one? Well, it has White Herb and Overheat. So, these Overheats are just absolutely decimating if she manages to get them off with her abysmally slow Pokemon. But one of the other things that I really liked about Emerald was you could go back and replay the gym leaders. And what happened when you replayed Flannery a bunch of times? By the time you made it to the 4th rematch, she had an out-and-out devastating Sun team. Now, granted, all of her Pokemon are still Fire type, but you've got Arcanine with Sunny Day, Flamethrower. You've got Macargo with the White Herb Overheat. You've got Houndoom with the Sunny Day Solar Beam attacks. And just about everything else just has White Herb or Solar Beam and Overheat. So, they really buffed her team towards the end of Emerald, and don't get me wrong, her team was just absolute trash, and she was a whiny little turd in the remakes of Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. Did I say that backwards? I don't know. I don't care. They're crap games, and they made her even crappier. And they made her look a little, in my opinion, they made her look really goofy in the new game. They made her look childlike, and I guess that played to her character. She was taking over the gym for her grandfather, and she was trying to prove herself, and her battle with you drove her to be better. And I like that. Well, that was Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. By the time Mega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came around, she became a whiny little turd. Oh, I suck. I'm not good enough. Well, that wasn't who she was in the first game. In the first game, she was a strong, proud, confident woman who was driving herself forward. In the second game, she became a whiny twat of a child who just didn't want to do anything. So that is why I like the original Flannery better, and in my opinion, the second best overall gym leader. And we have finally reached the top of the chart, number 1, and that is going to be Winona. Now, I have many reasons for liking Winona. She is flying type, which is probably one of my top 5 all-time favorite types. And she was the first flying type gym leader to not suck completely. Now, let me tell you why I think that. Winona of the 4-Tree Gym in Ruby and Sapphire packed Swallow with Guts, so even if you paralyze it, it's still just going to destroy your face. It had Pelipper, it had Skarmory, and it had Altaria. And it didn't just have any Altaria. It had a Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Dragon's Breath, and Aerial Ace Altaria. And that was terrifying, because you tear through the rest of her team with Plusle, Minun, Electrike, Manectric, and then you get to Altaria, who none of them can one-shot. She sets up a Dragon Dance, outspeeds you, and then continues to one-shot the rest of your team with Earthquake, Dragon's Breath, and Aerial Ace. And the first time I played her, I was like, oh, Altaria, not bad. Dragon type. Oh, wait. Dragon type resists electric attacks. That's going to be neutral Thunderbolt from my Manectric. Oh, okay, we'll two-shot it. She Dragon Dances, she outspeeds, she Earthquakes, and then she has Ray and Shop on my team. Now, she got a little bit of a buff. Actually, a lot of a buff, in my opinion, in Emerald. Instead of having Swallow, which, I mean, this is kind of a debuff, but hear me out, she got Swablu and Tropius. While neither of them are as good by themselves as Swallow, it gave her another neutral to electric type, which was really, really good. Because, as I said before, you don't get a lot of ice types and or ice moves in Pokemon games when you play through the storyline. So you need more than just an electric abuser to run through her gym. And she still has that beast of an Altaria with Dragon Dance and Earthquake. Now, we go to Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and they completely crap all over the greatness of her team. Now, she still has the exact same lineup that she had in Ruby and Sapphire with Swallow, Pelipper, Skarmory, and Altaria, but they nerfed her Altaria set. The Dragon Dance set was the most terrifying thing in the world if she set up Dragon Dance the first time. Now, she has Cotton Guard, which isn't nearly as good, because you're going to be hitting her with electric attacks anyways. But, I mean, it still has Earthquake, Dragon's Breath in it, and they did give it Roost. So, I mean, But Roost without the ability to outspeed anything, because Altaria is slower than a bucket of crap, it just wasn't nearly as useful. But Winona, an awesome gym leader in my opinion, just fantastic. Not only is Winona the first name of my late grandmother, but is also the middle name of my youngest daughter. So there you have it. Winona is topping the charts as the top 5 #1 favorite gym leader of OldManTup. So alright guys, let me know what your top 5 gym leaders are from any generation. Slap them down there in the comments below. Don't forget, if you did enjoy this video, to do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. Let me know I'm doing this right. You guys seem to be reacting to this very well. Just give me a little bit of encouragement to keep series like this going. Alright guys, this has been OldManTup, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.